Hello, I am Aileen Curtin, the Dean of Education for ILLI, our Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning International. And I am delighted to be in the company of our visionary and our founder, Temple Hayes, who is with me here today. So I just wanted to say welcome. We are connecting west and east here. I am in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Temple is now in California. So I just want to say hello to you, Temple, and I'll give you the opportunity to introduce yourself.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here. And one of the things, because we started creating, manifesting ILLI back in 2018 and launched the university online in 2019, 11/11 actually. And of course, then COVID came and the world did whatever it needed to do. So we are full throttle. We have several students with us now. And one of the things is that Aileen and I have a lot of wonderful conversations and decided that weekly we wanted to share some of those learnings and ponderings with all of you. One of the things is that the Institute, ILLI, is for a lifelong learner. In other words, you can go online anytime and take a course that speaks to your particular situation. We have someone right now taking courses about abundance in Kenya. And so you can take a one course, you can be a one course stop. And you also can receive spiritual leadership. And for right now, at this time in our unfoldment, I do the mentoring. And that being said, one of the things that I was telling Aileen is that what I found exciting at 19 years old is that new thought exceeded any cultural belief, any societal belief, any self-imposed limitation, any religiosity, and it just blew me away when I walked into a unity or a science of mind. I mean, people were bold, they were bodacious, my teachers were strong. I didn't go into Aileen to a New Thought community and tell my teacher I didn't have the money to pay for my ministerial courses. His answer was, then when you get the money, you come back. How are you going to be a minister if you don't have a good relationship with money? And the teachers back in the day were the New Thought consciousness that would show people you do not have to fit in today's times. Not only do you not have to fit in today's times, you can exceed anything that is going on. And for me, in my own objectivity, when I see so many communities closing and accepting the norm and settling, and teachers doing workshops on how to accept having a church in today's times that's very little and small, and New Thought needs to be back to what it once was. We can't go back, but we need to get back to being bold, bodacious, and showing people. And that's what you and I were talking about, that's one of the secrets right now. If you're looking for the secret and you're a leader of any spiritual community, people are not knowing what to do about a lot of things. Economy, their investments, their travel plans, their international travel plans, what's going on in their own lives, how to help their grandchild with addiction. There's a lot of unknowns. And the last thing they want to do is get dressed up and drive across town to come to a community that doesn't know what it's doing either. We're going to see what's going to happen. We don't really know. We got to hold back. We got to wait it out. They're not going to come because they want leaders that say, here's the direction. Let's do a vision. Let's collect together. This is the world outside of us. And this is the internal energy that's going on within us and let's create magic together. So it becomes, like they say about an elephant always coming back to its stomping grounds, we become an individual stomping grounds, like in the day of new thought, that we're the one offering the healthy medicine, the energy, the life force. We're creating this space of keeping people, more active. And I have to say, I must have needed this experience of coming all the way across the country and exiting from a phenomenal community where you are actually the minister that I've been 18 years, that's thriving and dynamic and just amazing. I must say that to have the experience of coming into a New Thought community here in California, and in 7 months, it's tripled in size. People are giving. People don't want to leave. You've seen us online. Sometimes people stay 2 hours after the service because they are just absorbing that vibe. So these are the kind of things that we offer at ILLI, is we teach you not what to think, but how to think in the way that's going to create a success in the corporate world, in the business sector, in church management, whatever you happen to be a part of.
Yes, and I know that since you have moved out to California, you've had to relocate, resituate, and you have now tripled the size of that community out there. So that is phenomenal. And so, what would you say then to people who say, well, let's just keep everything as it is, let's just go with the flow? How does that work as a leadership paradigm in your experience, Temple?
Well, natural laws, I think that's 2 different spaces. A natural law never keeps anything the same. And so it's going against the grain of who we are. Nothing can stay the same. It's a backwards paradigm. Wanting something to be the way it used to be. I've teased couples that say, we just wish we were the way we were, 8 years ago. It's like, God is not a Maytag repair person. You can only start today with what you have and what you know and who you are. And that is the magic of that. Going with the flow is fine as long as there are intentions, specific intentions to move an organization forward. You probably heard me say before, people can only be as excited about your community as you are. So if you're just laying low and, flowing on the side, then that's what you attract, people that are laying low and staying on the side. People want to be engaged. They want to be held to a responsibility. And I feel that across the globe, that's one way that New Thought, if you will, lost their way, because they say, well, I just want to be with people and let everybody just accept each other as they are and all that. It's not an either or, it's a both and. People still they're craving strong leadership. Here's the direction, and we are co-creating. And that's very important, because I'm not building communities. And first of all, it's not it's the vision of the I, and yet it's the we. And so when you're really building a community, which is what I've been known as all my life, a builder, if you think it's just you building, that's mistake, error, confusion number 1 right there. Because if you think it's an I, then you're a martyr, you're strung out on your ego and all that. You want to build a community that when you exit, that it's still powerful, sustainable, dynamic, just like over at First Unity, in spite of smallness and other things of self-imposed trauma that people create in those unhealthy goodbye realities. First Unity is thriving and amazing, and that's the way it's supposed to be. You're not looking for someone to replace you. you're looking at someone to replace a space, not you, because that's old. That's a dated paradigm. And so when you create a space for people that you say, this is your space, we're co-creating this together. And oh, by the way, that means giving, bringing your goods. Look at the value you place on everything else, whether it's the restaurant or wine or whatever you're doing. There's no hesitation. You don't say, gosh, I got to pay for this again. You pay with joy. And the same thing is, you go to a spiritual community, you get magic that could save your life or your child's or your grandchild's life. And that stands for the things we do. It's time that we demand and command engagement, because that's what people want. I mean, look at the political side. As somebody that can have a voice, it doesn't mean their values are even anywhere close to ours, but people are craving somebody to stand and point in a direction. So that's my truth. And I don't mean it in any way condescending. If anybody projects that on me, like I'm talking down to anybody, it's just that these skills and tools that we are teaching at ILLI, they are tried, they are true, they work. They support you in growing. They support you in having a fuller experience in whatever you are about. So why not? And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So
thank you. Well said. Thank you. So is there anything else you wanted to add before we finish for our session today, Temple, or any nuggets or anything that you want to leave us with?
Well, probably, and we'll talk about this, and more so you'll talk about this in one of our other sessions together, is that if you are an author that has a following, and you are wanting to have a course of yours or a course with curriculum, and it is in alignment with our values and principles, we'd love to hear from you. And we'd love to connect with you, because we're always adding. We have such a broad range of courses on ILLI.org. And so go to ILLI.org. You can see it behind me with Aileen, behind Aileen, and go and check us out and explore. So there's so many ways to play with us in this amazing journey that we call life. And keep in mind, it's time for us to be bold. It's time for us to take a stand about the new thought, so we will not continue to shrink and fade. It could be and is our time. We just have to grab it. Wow. So bless you all. And thank you, Dr. Aileen, for, as I always say it, without you, I don't want to know. I'm not affirming that.
Well, you have a wonderful day, and we will talk next time.
Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.